The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was silent. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in shining seats, their glowing eyes fixed on one figure standing alone. A human. The last ambassador of Earth. His uniform was torn, his face calm, but his eyes burned with quiet anger. The Supreme Chancellor spoke with a cold voice. Humanity has been judged. You are too emotional, too violent, too dangerous for peace among the stars. A low sound filled the hall. Whispers, laughter, judgment. The human looked around, his voice strong but steady. We gave you friendship. We gave you help. And now you call us dangerous? The Chancellor raised a metallic hand. Enough, Earth is banished. Your colonies will be removed from Council protection. You will never return. Outside the hall, the last human fleet waited. Hundreds of ships surrounded by alien war cruisers. The order came. Humanity was to leave or be destroyed. The ambassador walked toward his ship. He turned once, his voice carried through every channel. Remember this day, he said, because one day you will see us again, engines roared. The human ships vanished into deep space, leaving only silence behind. The council thought it was over. But years later, strange stories began to spread. Ships disappearing near the dark edge of the galaxy. Unknown signals, faint but familiar. Whispers said the humans were not gone. They were building something. Something massive. And in the cold space beyond known stars, deep within the shadows, a voice repeated a single promise. We will return. Decades passed after the banishment. The name humanity slowly faded from the Council's memory. To most species, it became nothing more than a warning told to young cadets. Do not be like the humans. The stars moved on, wars were fought, peace treaties were made, and new empires rose. But in the dark corners of the galaxy, the silence of Earth still lingered. No one knew where the human fleet had gone. Some believed they were destroyed. Others whispered that they had gone beyond the known rim, into the void where no signal could reach. The Council stopped searching. It was easier to forget, but not everyone forgot. Commander Lyra Venn, a young officer working in the Council's communications center, often stared at old records. She had never met a human, but something about their story fascinated her, their courage, their defiance. She wondered what had become of them. Then, strange reports started coming in. A patrol ship vanished near the border of the uncharted zone. Another scout found a planet covered with strange metallic ruins. Human design. Energy readings spiked and then vanished like ghosts. The Council dismissed it all. Malfunction, they said. Space anomalies. But Lyra felt a chill every time she read those reports. One night, while scanning old frequencies, she caught a faint signal. Weak, broken, but clear enough to recognize it was an old human code. The message repeated again and again, "We are watching." Lyra froze. The humans were alive. Somewhere out there in the cold dark beyond the stars. They were waiting, and whatever they were building, it was coming closer. The Council's chambers were filled with noise. Reports came from every sector. Missing ships, lost probes, strange shadows moving between systems. Most leaders laughed it off. Ghost stories, they said. But Commander Lyra Venn knew better. She had seen the signal with her own eyes. For weeks she tried tracing it. The code was old, human military encryption, something no one had used for over a century. She stayed awake for nights, decoding fragments line by line. Finally, one phrase became clear. We are returning. Her heart pounded. She took the data to her superiors, but they dismissed her again. Impossible. The humans are gone, they said. You're chasing myths. Still, she couldn't stop thinking about it. Then it happened. An exploration vessel near the edge of the uncharted zone sent a distress signal. Static and fear. The transmission lasted only a few seconds, but Lyra heard it before the feed went dark. A single image remained. A massive shadow shaped like a ship but far too large, drifting between the stars. She ran the image through old archives. The match was near perfect, human design but far more advanced than anything the Council had ever seen. Days later, a second message arrived. No sound, no code, only a symbol burned into the transmission. The blue and white flag of Earth. The Council fell silent. Lyra stood at the window of the command deck, watching the stars flicker strangely. The same message echoed again across every known channel, deep and calm. "This is Earth Command. We have returned." Somewhere beyond the void, engines began to hum, slow, powerful, unstoppable. The first sighting came at dawn over the planet Draxia 9. Traders thought it was a meteor shower at first, until the lights stopped moving. Then hundreds of them began to form lines, neat and perfect, like soldiers taking position in the sky. Within hours, every sensor in the galaxy came alive. Massive energy readings, unknown drive signatures, and signals repeating the same words across all frequencies. "This is the Earth Armada." Panic spread through the Council. Fleets scrambled, weapons powered up, but nothing could hide the fear. The ships that emerged were unlike anything the galaxy had ever built. Titanic vessels of steel and light, moving with calm precision. Their hulls bore the ancient insignia of Earth, glowing bright against the darkness. Commander Lyra Venn stood on the Council observation deck, speechless. The stories had been true. Humanity hadn't perished, they had evolved. Their technology pulsed with power beyond imagination, their formation silent but filled with intent. The Council attempted to hail them. No reply. Only the same calm broadcast echoed again. "Humanity remembers." Then a ripple passed through space as thousands of ships spread across the sectors. Every screen flickered with static. The stars dimmed, swallowed by the silver reflections of Earth's fleet. Lyra whispered to herself, "They came back." On a far command ship, Admiral Kale watched from his bridge. His voice was steady, filled with both sorrow and pride. "We left in shame," he said quietly. "We return in strength. No one banishes humanity twice," the order was given. Engines flared. The Armada began to move. The galaxy held its breath as the Earth Armada advanced. Thousands of ships glided through the stars like a silent storm. There was no battle cry, no warning, only the steady hum of engines and the quiet promise of justice. The Council sent their fleets to intercept. Whole armadas gathered in formation, their commanders shouting orders. But when the first human ships arrived, everything changed. The alien weapons locked on target, but before they could fire, their systems went dead. Every ship froze, engines powerless. From orbit, Earth's vessels surrounded them in perfect silence. A single message filled every screen. "We do not seek war, but we do not forget." Admiral Kale stood at the center of his command bridge, eyes fixed on the holographic map. Each red marker, each Council fleet was slowly turning blue. Not destroyed but disarmed. Humanity's technology had evolved far beyond the galaxy's limits. On the Council's homeworld, panic spread. Leaders argued, demanded surrender, pleaded for peace. But Kale wasn't seeking revenge. He opened a universal channel. His voice echoed through every system, calm and deep. "Centuries ago, you called us dangerous because we were human. You feared our fire, our will. But that fire made us strong. We are not your enemies. We are your mirror." His words reached even the soldiers who once fired on Earth. Silence followed. One by one, alien ships powered down their weapons. The battle never truly began. Commander Lyra watched in awe. She whispered, "They didn't come to destroy us. They came to remind us." And for the first time in 100 years, the galaxy felt something it had forgotten. Respect for humanity. The great war that everyone feared never came. The Earth Armada stood across the galaxy like guardians of light, vast and unmoving. Their presence alone enough to silence every weapon. Where once there was fear, now there was wonder. The Council finally sent a message of peace. This time there was no arrogance, no pride, only quiet respect. Their leader's voice trembled as he spoke. "Humanity, what do you seek?" Admiral Kale appeared on every galactic screen, his face calm and his eyes steady. Behind him, Earth's blue oceans shimmered on a giant display, a symbol of home. "We do not seek your destruction," he said softly. "We seek our place among the stars, earned through strength, not permission." In that moment, the galaxy changed. World after world opened its channels to Earth. Old enemies sent messages of peace. Trade, science, and alliances began to flow once more, this time on equal ground. Commander Lyra Venn stood beside Kale aboard the flagship Eos. She looked out at the endless sea of ships, each carrying the flag of Earth. "You could have taken everything," she whispered. "But you chose mercy." Kyle smiled faintly. "Mercy," he said, "is the true measure of power." As the fleet turned toward the distant horizon, Sunlight struck their hulls, painting them gold. Billions watched from every planet as the broadcast ended with a single message on every screen. Humanity has returned, not to conquer, but to lead. And so began a new era, the age of the Armada, when humanity stood not as outcasts, but as protectors of peace among the stars. The same species once banished now became the symbol of unity. The silence of exile was over. Humanity had come home.